Right, I've been asked by a good mate of mine over in US of A to explain a bit about the bare knuckle and the ordinary boxing punch when it's thrown bare knuckle, how to throw it in the strongest position, how to deliver the most power, and exactly how Conor McGregor throws it. And he's got very good. Conor's got some really nice shockwaves. Another person who's, I believe, got better shockwaves than Conor McGregor is Jimmy Sweenys, doing the bare knuckle boxing now. And when you understand the snap, it's timing, it's distance, it really is everything, and that's what gives you just have to touch. And there's just a big difference, and there's two completely different punches, basically. So as quickly as I can, and I might do another one at some point. But let's go through it. So first of all, we'll look at the hand position and the wrist. So a lot of people say to make a tight fist and keep it clenched tight. You don't want to do that. All you're doing is you're having your hand relaxed and just cupped. Now you see how that is like that. Now in a boxing glove, the thumb's up. In the MMA gloves, it's down, but the fingers don't want to be tucked in the hand, because then if you come round and where you normally hit the fingers, you'd be punching with the fingers because they don't move. If the fingers are out there, then that gives way. As you land there, the fingers give rather than stopping there, and that can hurt the fingers and put pressure on the wrist down here. So sometimes there is a very slight bend on the wrist. I never keep the wrist straight. It's always slightly bent. And the wrist is relaxed, the hand is relaxed, made in the fist. Now, the strongest position, I can come out and I can twist. I can hit horizontally, I can hit vertically. The strongest position in a boxing glove is vertically. Just tilt it slightly there. That's the strongest position. If I was doing a straight shot, that would be the same position. If I was throwing a hook like that, that'd be the same position. So the jab, the straight shot, and the hook is all, it's not quite straight up, there's a little tilt. And I'm keeping the thumb up for this because he wants to know what it's like in the gloves, and that's what it's like. So a lot of the times the glove, if the thumb's fixed, you can't really get it back past this knuckle here, and you can't get around onto that inside at all. But depending on the glove, sometimes you can pull the thumb back and then you can get onto the stronger part. But for now we'll stick with the boxing glove. And so if you train in boxing gloves, and I think 99, probably 100% of all the BKB guys I've seen punch with this sort of boxing style, with varying levels of sort of impact, and that's what makes the biggest difference. And what I'm talking about levels is the level of body, the technique, the way they're using the body, and the shockwave on the end, because that makes the single biggest difference. All of the strikers in the BKB that are really top notch, all of the guys in the UFC, they've all got really sharp shockwaves, and that's what makes them stand out from all the other guys in the crowd. So what we're doing is, we're not, say if I was coming round and twisting, I do not have to twist to create a snap. I create a snap by driving in and pulling the hand back. So I'm in this position, slightly leant over. Now when I come in there, if I pull the hand back, as it goes in, I pull the hand back, what happens is, remember the boxing glove, so what happens is I want to get round as far as I can on this part of the knuckle, as far as I can get round without hurting me thumb here. You spike that, you know about it. So you get a feeling for that, and what you want to do is you want to isolate that knuckle as much as you can and as far round as you can. The further round you can get that in boxing gloves, the more power the shot will be, and you're isolating it onto that bone as much as you can. So normally when people hit, they hit with all three, and that's how they start. And a lot of the time the pad on the boxing glove is a nice big fat pad there, and it teaches you. If I just put a boxing glove on and I let my hand relax and come round, it actually twists like that, and that's not the strongest position. The strongest position is to come down and whip. So I'm always keeping it down, and again with the when I'm coming in with the hook, I'm coming in like this and I'm digging in this knuckle as much as I can as I land with whichever shockwave I choose. So here I can just snap back, I can snap in. So the basic snap is I snap in and back. When I'm snapping in, there's a little loop on this, so I snap in there and I come back, and you see there's a little sort of loop on it there. What I'm doing with the really straight snap is I'm trying to keep, if I keep my finger there, I'm trying to keep my finger as straight as I can until I come back. Because it's the boxing gloves, this is going to be offline slightly because I'm not hitting with the kinetic part. So the finger is going to be here and then it drops in. So if I punch in there and I dig it in, this part of the knuckle at the end. Now if I'm bare knuckle, then I can drop it in right at the end as I hit, or as I dig it in with the hook, or with a straight shot sort of digging it in. If I've got boxing gloves on, then the padding's going to be slightly further out, so that's going to make a difference, and that makes a big difference if you're punching in, if you're trained in the cage fighting and you've got the cage fighting gloves. If you're trained in boxing gloves that are thicker, then you're going to be punching shorter in the ring. You train how you fight. If you train in thicker gloves, then it's unless you do train at least 50% in the smaller gloves, then you're going to be punching short. And that's the most important thing when it comes to having an effect when you land the shot on a target. So let's run through that. So hands relaxed so it can give way with the fingers, and that helps again with the hooks. If I'm coming round with a hook, then I normally hit the fingers. What happens if I catch the fingers is the fingers will give. Even with the hook, these will move and they'll land on this part of the knuckle. So with the hook, sometimes I'm slightly bent. The wrist can be slightly bent, even particularly bent. As long as you understand where that part is, you can just hit sort of here. That'd be a close, for me to throw a close shot here, I'd come in and whip back, and that'd be like a light snap. I could throw a deeper snap in there, or I could just tilt my shoulders back slightly and then cleave across at 45 degrees. So punching wise, let's just go quickly through this. Punching wise, let's think of the figure of 8. Now, let's just put that down a minute. Now, if I'm making this motion now think about cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, hook, cross, cross, jab, cross, open hand, slap, slap, slap. So this figure of 8 is the most powerful way to throw punches. So if you're putting in shots and you want to land one shot, and then this next hand, within a split second of this hand landing, is ready and back ready to fire forward, then the figure of 8 is what you want to use. So you're flowing with this figure of 8. Now, because you hit with this part, now when you see people do this like a straight blast, so we're tilting in slightly, what you want to try is the chop, which is really nice. And this is your hands are higher by the top of your head, and you're sort of dropping down. You've seen the chop, the kinetic chop. I'd be tilted there and I'd drive in with the inside. This is back, and again the hands relaxed, but I'm coming down and I'm snapping in, but I'm snapping deep. And then when I snap deep there, because this hand activates this hand going forward. So as I'm hitting, it's that flow and it's that figure of 8. So have a little look at that, and I'll come back to you on more questions. Cheers.